And then Robert's going to take over, and then I'm going to have to jet out. So I'm going to do a quick screen share real quick. All right. Can everybody see my screen? Thumbs up, thumbs down?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, Craig, I'm going to use yours as an example. Okay, so everyone has his or her own Google folder. It's going to be titled with your first name, personal promotional materials. This is where all the magic's going to happen. So what it's going to consist of, let me go ahead and shrink it down. There is a folder, there's going to be a document that's going to state YouTube video interview link. That is the direct link for your video that we've uploaded on our YouTube channel at iNetrepreneur Radio. It is set to public. So when you're out there promoting yourself, this is the video that we've added everything about the Art of Connection event. And it is open for public viewing. So you want to share your video, because if you noticed, everybody who had their videos done with me, it was all about you and your business. So what a great promotional piece. So that's just the document that has your YouTube link. Then you'll see that there's a few different memes in here, one of which is be my personal guest. So we've really tried to create stuff that you can send out, whether it's through email or it's through your social media channels, or send it over to your assistants and have them do the promotion. So you'll just take the swipe, take these images and then come down here where it says swipe copy. Let me just pull this up. On the swipe copy, we have some different variations. All right, my computer's running a little slow. There's some different variations as to the swipe copy. I don't think that's going to come up. That you can use. Now, again, these are boilerplate copies, so use your own voice. You have total control of changing the copy to mirror your own voice, but this gives you a good idea. The only thing you do not want to do is the section that says, yes, I want my ticket purchased here. This is actually the event link for people to get their tickets. So you do not want to change this portion right here. Moving over, you will see that there's a couple of videos in here. I have titled either raw video. It's yours to keep, whatever you want to do with it. There is one that says summit video. The summit video is one that does have all of the event information about the Art of Connection. All right, so far we've gone over what's in here. I do want to point out that in this folder, each of you has a spreadsheet. Some of you have 10 tickets to give away to your top 10 favorite people. Now, here's the thing. You're going to be up on a panel. You are an expert. People are going to hear you. Your panel times, I believe, are right around 45, 50 minutes. Robert will clarify here in a second. So you're up on the panel. You're positioned as an expert. All of the marketing materials show that you are an expert in building connections. Then you're going to come off of stage and you're going to go into your own private breakout room where you will conduct 5 different workshops. And we'll go over that a little bit more in just a second. So to tie this in, the reason why you want to get your top either 5 or 10 clients to come to this event is because they are going to be your biggest fans. They are the ones that are going to say, I love Diana. She was awesome. She taught me everything. And they are going to rave about you. This is an event that you're going to learn how to connect. We're all going to share to pick up more clients. Your biggest fans, your top clients are the ones that will help solidify and somebody go, I need to have Preston services or Iris services. These are important. Now, what you need to fill out on this spreadsheet sheet has our sales by adding the person's first, their last name, self, either. The reason why this is important, you're going to get a special treatment. We are going to call your guest about if it hasn't any problems for them to be able to enter. They want to get in and it's smooth and it's with ease. Now, something to pay attention to, all guest information, so all of your ticket sheets have to be filled out, and write this down, by Sunday, April 25th, 6 p.m. Come Monday morning, our team's going to step in and they're going to start calling, they're going to start registering and making sure that your guests are taken care of. So again, these ticket pages all have to be filled out, and we need it by Sunday, April 25th at 6 p.m. Are there any questions? And just take yourself off of mute if you have a question on the ticket information. Nope. Okay.
One question, Sean.
Next off in your full, yes.
I have a question too.
Yeah, just so we got to fill that in, and then we don't have to
Donna?
send them the links. You're going to.
That is correct. Everybody will be getting their links on Monday, the 26th. That includes all of you. What we're going to do in your Google folder here, we will already have your Zoom link. So we know that the morning of the event, there's absolutely no problems for any of you getting into the event. But yes, your guests will be emailed their links.
And Sean, what happens if you don't have any guests?
Well, we've never had that happen.
Yeah, most of anybody who I would think of asking are actually working during the times that we're doing this.
So we've had some people bring their friends, their family members, their top clients. But again, we've been doing this similar type of event for 6 years, typically on a quarterly basis. And we usually have people that have at least one person minimum. So I don't know.
I will do my best. I'll work on this over the next 48 hours.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's all that we can ask then.
Thank you.
Okay. All right.
So is there a registration link for our
problem. Any other questions? You're welcome. Can you guys hear me? Thumbs up, thumbs
Yeah.
down.
Very, very sketchy.
Yeah, you keep cutting out, Sean.
Oh, lovely. Okay.
Try turning off your video. That'll free up some of your bandwidth.
Yeah, let me do that. You guys don't need to see me. Hold on. Stop video. Okay, how's that? Better? Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So all of your guests will have access. They will have a link to the event.
So what was the registration? Okay.
If you need to put your question in the chat window, Robert will respond.
Okay, cool. Cool.
All right, so next up in the folder, you will have what's called important panel information. This is a resource that'll talk about your tickets. It's going to talk about your virtual swag and when it's due by. It's going to explain what virtual swag is. Virtual swag, every time any person who attends the event is going to get like a booklet. And in this book that will be emailed to them will be a gift from each and every one of you. So let me show you a sample. Can you still see my screen? Thumb up. Preston, I can see you. Can you see my screen? No? Okay.
Yep.
So this is going to be the cover of the swag. And then we're going to have everybody's names listed on here who's contributed a swag. And Jill's office, Mary Beth, thanks for doing this. This is what a virtual swag will look like. There'll be 2 on a page. And it's going to be your gift to the audience strictly for attending. And then we'll have some more information. So this just kind of gives you a sample idea. In this case, Jill's giving away an action guide. You can do like a how-to, maybe it's a free ebook, whatever you would like to do as the virtual swag. Revisit the document right here because it'll tell you that we need the virtual swag by Friday, April 23rd, 5 p.m. And you just email it directly to me, and it has to be in a PNG file. That way it's easier for setup. You're also going to see item number 4, that it's going to talk about a giveaway. So a giveaway is different than a virtual swag. The virtual swag is just images, and it's a gift to everybody in the audience. The giveaways, we will have like a spinning wheel, and on the wheel will be everybody's names. And then when it lands, that will be a giveaway. So for instance, if Brian, if you give away your Success Profiles book for high achievers, we will tell the audience ahead of time that we're spinning to win Brian Wright's Success Profiles book. And so it's a tangible item. You will need to give me some type of an image so we can splash it up on the screen as to what we're giving away in case somebody didn't hear it. And then what we will do is the winner will receive the image with your contact information. And then we will send during the event the contact information to the person who won whatever your giveaway is. We will need to know also by Friday, April 23rd. Okay, any questions on the giveaways or the virtual swag?
Yeah, how many gifts would you like, or each person just gets one giveaway? What would you love?
So for the giveaway, just one giveaway per person.
Okay, got it.
Okay. Any other questions on the giveaways versus the swag? Okay. Let's see, we went over the folders. I'm going to stop sharing. Joanne, did you have a question? I saw your hands. Okay. We have Taylor Wellman. Taylor, wave your hand at everybody so they can see you. Taylor is Taylor with Financial Potion will be, her company will be running the event for us on the back end. Taylor will have your email addresses for access to the event. So yes, we do ask everyone to be there all day, but if for some reason you have to step out or you lose connection, you'll be able to get back in thanks to Taylor and her team. I will also put in your Google Drive a document that will have Claire's contact information. So if there's any technical difficulties, and Taylor will give us the number that she wants us to give you, you'll be able to reach out to Taylor directly. Taylor, is there any words that you would like to say?
Let's just get ready to have a wonderful event.
Okay. Perfect. Lots of words there. All right, Robert, do you want to, so far, the agenda, we will be adding the agenda for the event in all of your Google folders. The doors will open at 8:30 in the morning for the guests and all the attendees. So from about 8:30 to 8:50 in the morning, we're going to put everybody in a private breakout room for networking. And then at 8:50, we'll bring everyone, including you, on into the main room. With that being said, as speakers and panelists, each of you will need to be at the event and logged in by 8:15 in the morning, because we need to make sure that we have audio and visual. We want to make sure that we do a quick test run the day of to make sure that there's no problems getting into the event. You'll need a few things. I know that many of you are experts on doing the Zooms and doing online events, but I cannot stress enough the importance of excellent lighting and a quiet environment, especially if some of us are working from our home and we may have kids or pets.
All right. Hey, everyone.
If it gets noisy,
Sean, go ahead and
make
turn off
sure
and see if I can hear
but
myself.
it's very
Yes, hello. Can I be heard?
Mhm.
All right. Hopefully I will be in a little bit clearer. I want to thank each and every one of you for being here today. This is a wonderful event that we having coming up. I just want to make sure that everyone knows that the website where all the panels will be is the it's just artofconnectionsummit.com. That's artofconnectionsummit.com. That's how you'll be able to get to the event. Much of the information that Sean has talked about has been put there. We will update the agenda slightly so it's the same as what will go into the Google folder. The panels are in order of how they will be occurring during the event. The first two panels are the world-class connection panel and the human connection panel. After we have our featured speaker, which is Brent Kessler, we will have a traditional media panel and a digital media panel. Now, if you find that some of the words, they may have been truncated, we received some bios that were just a little bit longer than what we thought. Don't take it personally if we cut it down just a little bit, but it's just to make it all pretty for everyone who looks at the website. I want to thank Preston Martelli for also being a part of the team that put together the website for this event. Go ahead and show panels. Sean, if that's you doing this, go ahead and put on the panels. And we'll start with the world-class connection panel. I also want to remind everyone that what Sean was saying about the guest passes, we are giving 5 to 10 complimentary guest passes. They're worth $47 each. And I will say this again and again until I'm blue in the face. Your raving fans will sell you much better than you can sell you. It's always great to have the people that know, like, and love you, come to these events and sing your praises. They may be in the very rooms that are talking you up when you're not there as well. I also want to talk about the information that is in these folders. We've worked tirelessly to make sure that all of your information is in your Google Drive, including flyers, including links, including extra swipe copy, etc. for everyone here. We also have up to almost the day of the event, the ability for everyone to be able to utilize the promo code ART. So when you're reaching out to your collective universe, that people can get 50% off the Art of Connection ticket summits, such a deal. So I just want to make sure, can everyone hear me clearly? Am I breaking up or am I sounding?
You sound great, Robert.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that I sounded great. Now going a couple of step backs, this is really like the ultimate most important thing that I want to express, and that's right now. One of the things that the Network Together and now the iNetrepreneur Network is known is for having panels that offer synergy in and amongst the members that are there. This is not a time to compete with one another. This is a time to complete with one another. We are here as servants of our audience to give them the best entertainment and information that they can possibly receive. When you go into your individual breakouts, you can absolutely give an offer, do questions and answers, do your Super Bowl commercial, be whatever Rambo-ish rock star you want to be in your speed presentations. But when we're up there on the panel, you know, it behooves us all with the audience that we have here that show that we ourselves are connected and that we ourselves are doing one thing, giving our best to those who come to see us and pay money. I think it's very important that we do that. It's something that I will always want to keep. It's the connections that create bonds. Now we have 4 panels, and there is a theme, and there's a chronological way that each panel is being measured as we go through the event. The first panel is the world-class connections. And as I go through this little story, if you're on the world-class connection, certainly what I'm doing is I'm sending out an email as well to introduce through email each and every one who's on the panel. So what I offer and what I suggest, even though we're pressed for time, is to reach out to each other and, you know, whether it be a text, whether it be an email, or if you want even a phone call, just to get to kind of know each other before we get to this event next week. The reason why the first panel is called World Class Connections is because we're creating the foundation for everything that's relationship oriented in this event. The first panel really is the cornerstone for everything to come. The first panel is like what Aristotle said, the greatest connection that you could ever have is the connection or the relationship that you have with yourself. And what we want to do is have entrepreneurs, business owners, and influence be able to learn to clear the head trash out of their mind so they can go to the second part of what we're doing at the event. And Diana, you're on that panel, I know, the human connection panel. So once we give about an hour and 15 minutes of our lives to the world-class connection panel, we will be taking the next step. And that is the creating of human connections, because the most important thing that we collectively can do as entrepreneurs, business owners, and influencers is create connection in and from each other, and connection as well. I mean, connective energy. And so what we're trying to do here with the human connection panel is we want to create a sense of human beings creating bonds and relationships. Selling is a transactions, but relationships, if done right, are a lifetime. And I certainly want to be able to have clients as a lifetime. So Joanne, you asked what panel we're in. There is an email that will go out and it will state which panel you're on. But if you go to artofconnectionsummit.com and you click on World Class Connections, you'll see that you're on that panel. On that page is also the bio, your image, and also there's a little blue button that you can click on, which takes you directly to what I call the world-class interview that my lovely wife, Shawn Jones, did for each and every one of us. I think she's an amazing, I'm giving her, you can't see me, but I'm giving her a couple of hand waves because she's amazing in that endeavor. Once we are done with the human connection panel, I've talked to Brent Kessler about it. Is Brent still here? Yep, there he is. There's Brent. And hey, Brent, you know, here's the most crazy thing, and some of us may really resonate with this. Brent is a money guy. And it's like, what is this money guy doing at a connection event? And so part of what Brent is doing after we get through World Class in Human Connections is Brent is going to paint a picture for entrepreneurs, because most of us have pretty crappy relationships with money. Maybe not in this Zoom room, and maybe some of us do, but many in the audience do have a crappy relationship with money. And I would be remiss if we didn't have a place for entrepreneurs to start learning how to look as money as their asset and ally, not as their adversary and access. And so Brent Kessler is going to be our in-between speaker between the first part of the day with our first two panelists, and the second part of the day, our second two panels. Now, one of the things, I have some people that are on the traditional media panel. Now, what I want to talk about in the traditional media panel, and Ira, I know you're on this, I believe you're on this panel as well, is traditional media seems to be getting its teeth kicked in quite a bit. And for some of us, for the right reasons, but for some of us, maybe in the wrong reasons. You know, one of the things that I have, and we're going to be making slides, which I'm going to be sending over to Taylor Wellman. When we start the panel, the slide's going to say, for some, traditional media is an albatross, but for others, it is a beautiful story of the painter and the brush. And what I found in my life is to actually be able to feel and touch and sense creation. You know, there's nothing more permanent and more heartfelt than if you receive something. And traditional media can be from television, it can be from film, it can be from, you know, a magazine, article, etc. But what we're trying to do is, what I want to do with our traditional media panel is weave a connection between our human interactions and our next panel, that's digital connections. And I have a quote from Dale Spender, and he says, every medium, oral, written, print, and now electronic, has its own associated thought patterns and mindsets. Which gets me another point to this event. In this particular community, we speak about heart set. And heart set is the foundation of the entrepreneurs that we have. And I will say in some of my teachings, and Donna Metter, you know this, you have to have your heart set before you can work on your mindset. And when I used to work with world-class athletes, they didn't say, oh boy, I need to read another book. What they said was, I need to get my heart right. And that's really important, because I was a world-class athlete at one time. And let me tell you, there wasn't any number of books in the world that made me cross that line as a champion. It was all heart, baby, because there's a lot of people that were talented. And the most recent, and Billy, you're on this panel, that's the digital media panel. The digital media panel also has a pretty darn special place as well. And why I'm saying this so much is because I want to have an overlay of the theme and the feel of this event. So we don't come across as a bunch of islands, but we come across as a bunch of human beings together as one voice to serve the audience that's coming to see us. That's what makes this organization so profound and so beautiful. So in the digital media channels, I go back to my beginning a long time ago, and Preston and I, you know, we've had conversations. I used to be I call myself a recovering computer programmer, okay? I had to get my 12-step program to get out of the zeros and ones world to get into this humanity world. But it's the same thing as everything else. If your message is not aligned with your mission, your message can't be delivered through the proper methods of digital marketing, because your words won't resonate with the very audience that you're attempting to serve. And there's an old adage in computer programming, and it's called garbage in, garbage out. And that's why it's so important that we weave the story from the head trash of the person in the beginning to the first handshake and smile from when they meet in the room, to the very media that either can work for them or against them. That's why we have Jill Lublin here to help us navigate the PR and promotion world, etc., to where we get to the digital media world, where we stop being interrupters and we truly become disruptors, and we become the people that people are interested in. You know, people ask me all the time, what makes a great speaker? Because I've hired a bunch of speakers on our stages for the last few years. And I tell them there's one great thing. It's not how well you speak. It's not how much you can cuss. I know, believe it or not. What it really is you give them something that people want to hear and something that people want to see. That's what successful speakers do. And that's what we collectively as the panelists are going to do. We're going to give something that's interesting to them. And we're going to weave a story throughout this event to create a compelling pitch that we are the people that create the audience for everyone here. So at any rate, I'm getting a little text saying, wrap it up, Robert, but I just love this stuff too much to stop, darn it. Okay, so I'm wrapping up. She got my mojo going, Ira. So at any rate, I just wanted to give everyone, so look for an email from me. It's going to give a wrap up. It's going to give email addresses to each and every member that's on the panel. And you know what? You guys are all world class here. And I know we're going to have an amazing event. I will be facilitating it. And I'm going to weave a story with each and every one of you in here. You know what? And you know, like Doritos, we can always make more. So let's just make the first one the worst one, because we're going to launch seriously again and again and again. And I just want to thank each and every one of you here today listening to me. Thank you. Is there any questions before we go?
It seems nobody wants to leave, Robert. We're just,
Give me questions, man. Give me questions.
I didn't know if we were wrapping, if it was wrapping up or somebody else was coming in. I just, I sort of might need that drive link. My inbox gets pretty swarmed, so I might just
I'll text you the drive
need that
link.
again. And
I'll
other
text
than
it to you, Billy. I'll text you the link.
Yeah.
I'll get that from Sean and I'll
then
text it
other
to
than
you.
that, and then I'll get a flyer.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll get a flyer made up, and then I'll post it across my socials, try to get some sales in for you guys. So
We appreciate that. You're a rock star. Anyone else have questions before we go?
no problem, brother.
I'm looking forward to it, Robert. I'm all psyched up.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank-
Joe.
Thank you. We got work to do.
All right.
amen.
Invite.
Well, if you need me, you know me, just reach out to me and I'll do what I can. You guys are all rock stars. Let's just,
Thank you.
break a leg. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks,
Ciao.
Robert.
Okay, thank
Bye.
you. Love the quotes, Robert.
Thank you, Ira.